it kind of makes me smile. It's about Noah. That's a good part in my life where I had the opportunity to raise a child with a woman, and he was just so funny. I learned a lot. They ask all these questions and you realize you don't know much. They always ask you, well, what's that about? And you go, well, you know, I don't really know. I don't really know what that's about. But it makes you laugh and it kind of opens you up. It's about being clever, about being able to endure weather, you know, like all different climates of weather. If you think about a snake, and they're smart too. They go like where it's warm, they get their body warm when they, you know, they get everything they need, or they die. They know that, so it's like that's their quest to get everything they need to survive and, you know, live. It's simple. Noah is the snakes. I was on a road trip with them and I just drew it and I knew, you know, somehow he was, you know, he was involved. He was the snakes and she was definitely the fish because she's a Pisces. It's funny because the snakes are on the outside of everything, and then it's almost like the child is like the thing that kind of kept us together. Which for a while there it was. He was the reason why I stayed. The next was the feathers. That's all about freedom and sexuality. It's all about coming into really understanding yourself and what you want. You know, sexually, you know, how people transform and you know, because I was pretty much raised to be straight and I never was. So it's kind of like feathers, they just fly wherever they go, you know, and they let change occur, you know, and they're strong about it, you know. The pink triangle, which is where the feathers are, with the shape of the feathers, go in on my back. So it was just kind of like a realization of that sort of thing and kind of like stamping myself, like being free to say who I am and sort of liking that, you know, finally like liking myself a little bit. We're always transforming. We're always, you know, definitely evolving. I mean, I've never felt right in my body for sure. I don't know if I'll have a complete, you know, physical change. I mean, that would be something else. I don't know if I can handle that. But when you don't feel like a girl or a woman, people always constantly say that you are in context of anything, you know. You just, it's almost, you then become invisible. You really do. You just, okay, I don't exist. Because people can't see you for who you are, which is a man. Because you don't have a man's body, you know, but you feel like a man, or you feel like you think a man would feel like, because you don't really know how that is, because technically you're not. But intimacy, at least for me, you know, it's a big deal to be naked because I don't really like my body. It doesn't make sense when I look in the mirror. It doesn't make sense to me. I go, huh? But I don't know about the whole operation and stuff. I kind of like, I think my body's alright. I probably have my chest flattened though, so I don't really like my chest. The last one's really important. It's about what I'm made of, my strengths, and it's about standing my ground. And Bastogne it's about the soldiers who held the line against the German soldiers. They didn't have a lot of ammunition and they didn't have a lot of food, and they didn't know when they were going to get out, and they knew they just had a job to do and they had to stay in the hole and kind of hold back the soldiers. Sometimes when you're going through something pretty difficult and you don't really understand what it's about, you just gotta kind of do that. You just stand your ground and wait. And you know, sometimes it's really hard because you don't know when you're gonna get a piece of chocolate cake or something. It's American typewriter is what it's called, and I love it. It's like the old, it's like what would the letters that courier. It's like courier text, what would come out of like an old typewriter, and in that setting, and in that era, that's what they used, the typewriters, you know, to type things out, to type the cards out, to type letters, and I just like it. I just like the way it looks, and aesthetically, it's beautiful. It goes vertically down, like Bastogne, you know. I wanted it to follow my spine because I think your spine is like one of the strongest, you know. Your spine is like support. They're unmistakable. They're me. They're who I am. You know, like if I couldn't talk and someone just had to figure out who I was, it would lend them some pertinent information. So I think these tattoos kind of like, I don't know if they like, I don't want to say they separate me from everybody, but it's definitely because I felt alienation, because I felt separated, that I put these tattoos on my body. And these tattoos have actually united me with me. This is who I am. I don't care if you don't like me. You're missing out on what I mean, every soul that comes into this world with information for other beings, you know. So like I came into this world to be me, you know, to be as awkward and as beautiful and as difficult as I can be, you know, to teach you about me, you know, and you came in to teach me about you.